Hello and welcome to the webinar. Hope you're in great shape. This is just a short webinar, maybe 45 minutes long, and it's specifically designed for somebody who's interested in having me work bespokely with you, me and my team work bespokely with you within the next 4 months to get you 6 outstanding properties sourced, negotiated on, solicitors sorted, mortgages sorted, and get your property investing journey seriously underway. As my invite to you would have very clearly said, or did very clearly say, I'm somebody who doesn't settle or doesn't ever settle, I suppose, keeps wanting to grow, keeps wanting to develop, keeps wanting to stretch. And I want to help like-minded people who are in the same vein to achieve that exact same goal. Now, I want to make sure that we've got you looking at the right webinar. I want to make sure that this is an opportunity that is potentially for you. So to help me to do that, there are 2 questions that I'd like to ask you, and just to get a feel of who is in the audience, but also to ask you. Now, no one else can see your answers, but if I can ask you to click as quickly as you can for me, it will give me a feel. So the first question is really obvious. How many investment properties do you currently have? So it might be that you've got none. By the way, that's not a problem. That's not a deal breaker. You may be saying, I need someone with experience to really make this explode and happen for me. You might be in that 1 to 3 bracket. You might be in that 4 to 10 bracket, or you might be in that 11 plus bracket. So there's about 30% of you still to click. So if you can click as quickly as you can for me, that would be absolutely great. But I've got about 22% of the audience are on, or 20% are on none, about 33% approximately are 1 to 3, 38% 4 to 10, and 10% also 11 plus. So a real spread of you across that different range. So doesn't really matter which of those points you're starting from. It just gives me a good feel of where you're at. If I can ask the second question, which is a bit more important, because we can't buy investment properties, and we definitely can't buy at least 6 properties in the next 4 months unless we've got some money behind us. But please answer honestly. Again, I'm the only person that can see this, but what cash and equity do you currently have to be able to put into your property investing? You might be saying, I've got none to £10,000. You might be in that 10,000 to 35,000 range. You might be 35,000 up to 100 to 250, or you may be 250 plus. So again, if you can just click as quickly as you can, no one else can see, just to give me a feel of who's in the audience and who is listening in. Okay, so and again, there's about 20% of you left to click. So if you can click for me as quickly as you can, I'd really appreciate it. So, okay, so to be really, really, really clear, if we're going to work on your behalf and source, negotiate on, sort the solicitors, sort the mortgage, get the properties bought, then refurbish them for you and get them all up and running. If we're going to do that on 6 properties plus, you need to have £250,000 plus to invest to be able to take advantage of this offer. Okay, so you need to have £250,000 plus to take advantage of this offer. Now, if you are in the category that is less than 35,000, which a chunk of you are, then I'm delighted that you're really passionate about taking this forward. The only way that I can personally help you take this forward is with my VIP program, which this webinar is not about. And you can either email my team, info@propertyinsight.info, and ask for information about the VIP program. You can type it in the chat box or the questions box right now and say, can somebody contact me about the VIP program tomorrow, and give us a date and a time that they can call you and they can talk you through that VIP program. And that's basically my education program. And my education program, I'm not going to guarantee you 6 properties in the next 4 months, by the way, but I am going to guarantee over the next 3 years, you'll have a £1 million portfolio that makes you at least £50,000 per annum, whatever money you're starting with. So if that's of interest, it's an education program. You then need to take the action with it. Then you may want to type in the questions box that you're interested in that, so we can reach out and connect with you. You can type in a time and a date for somebody to call you, or you can email info@propertyinsight.info and ask for information on the VIP program. Or finally, you can go to www.insightgroupeducation.co.uk and you can find out more about the VIP program there. That's www.insightgroupeducation.co.uk. If you're in the bracket of 35,000 up to 250,000 of cash and equity, then again, this webinar is not for you. Okay, we have done for you products where we build you great portfolios, but really every 35,000 gets you a property. So if you've got 105,000, for example, we can get you 3 in the next few months. If you've got 150,000, we can get you 4 in the next few months. So again, if you're interested in those products, this webinar is not for you, but you have 2 options. You can go to www.insightgrouportfolio.co.uk, and there you can find out about all our done for you products and the full range of them. Or better than that, you can type in the questions box and say, please can somebody call me at this date and this time, put a specific date and time, and one of my property experts will give you a call. So that then leaves us with people that have got £250,000 plus. This webinar is for you because I'm going to show you how I can work specifically with you to ensure that within 4 months we have sourced you 6 outstanding properties, negotiated on them, sorted the solicitor, sorted the mortgage, and we're getting you buying them or completed on them and refurbished them, and it's all done for you. I deliver for you with the experience that I've got. Okay, so without further ado, let's continue, but you've got fair warning there of which bracket you may fit in based on the answers you just gave me. So thank you for all clicking so quickly on that. So, okay. So who is this speaking to you? Many of you will know me, but some of you won't. I'm Aaron Curry. That's a picture of me there, founder of the Insight Group. The Insight Group has been going now for 11 years in total. We've helped our clients to buy over 1,000 properties. We've gone and sourced outstanding properties for our clients. Again, negotiated on them, sought the solicitor, sought the broker, got them bought, refurbished them, etc. We've been doing that for 11 years. And it's a group of companies that I own, all of them, me and my wife Layla, and they come together to deliver that service to you. It's a kind of a hands-free, really successful, building you great portfolio. So you don't have to make the mistakes that I made and many other investors make when they're first starting their journey, or even when they're a third or 2/3 down their journey. Made Easy Education's my education arm. That has anything from a 1-day event to a 3-day program, which is a couple of £1,000 for a year of training, up to my VIP program that I was just talking about that guarantees £1 million portfolio with an income of 50,000 a year within 3 years. And right up to people will pay me for one-to-one coaching just for an hour a week of my time. They'll pay me £40,000 for the year, but they know at the end of that year that investment will have got them financially free. So I've got 200 properties in my own portfolio. We've helped our clients get 1,000. I've said I've educated over 100,000 people in the last year alone. And our clients, for this webinar, our clients are consistently getting returns of 50, 80, 130, 200% return on investment within 5 years. And I'm going to show you some returns on investment that will kind of blow your socks off what we can achieve with a £250,000 plus investment. Okay. As I'm going through the webinar, I'm just going to share a couple of case studies. Now, the case studies I've pulled out are actually for people that have invested less than we're talking about investing, but you can see then if they can get the kind of returns they're getting, what kind of returns you're likely to get with 2.5 times as much. So in this example, Tom, just been with us for 5 years. 5 years on, started with 100,000, got 4 properties. He's about to purchase number 5. His return on investment is 77% over that 5-year period. So, you know, when you compare this with the bank, by the way, so you put your money in the bank and the bank will earn you 1% per annum. So over a 5-year period, that would be 5.25%, 5.5% with compounding if you're lucky. Okay, you've got your money sat in equity in your current residence or in some buy-to-let properties you've got. It's earning you nothing sat in equity, absolutely nothing, no pounds by sitting in equity. So, you know, earn nothing, earn 5.25%, earn 77% return on investment, and that doesn't touch the sides with what I'm going to be showing you. So now, by the way, if Tom stopped investing now, if he said, do you know what, 5 properties is enough. I'm going to stop investing now, and I'll just live off the income that's going to create. We've already created from a 100,000 investment a portfolio that will make him £10,000 per annum of rental profit plus £27,000 per annum in releases. So Tom's going to be on £37,000 per annum if he stops now. Now, he doesn't want to stop because he wants to grow that even bigger, but that's starting with 100,000 within 5 years. You can start to do the maths if you've got 250,000 plus, and it goes faster and faster and faster, by the way. Okay. Tom, by the way, is a client that's obviously started with less money. He's used one of our other done for you products we mentioned earlier. Okay. Now, whenever you're investing in property, if I'm educating you, okay, I'm going to teach you that there are what I call the 5 Ps. There are 5 key areas you need to get right to invest successfully. You need to have a very, very clear purpose. You need to be clear on what's the goal, what are we trying to achieve. If you are going to become a client of our elite service, and I'm going to personally be working with the team to build you a superb portfolio, I'll want to know from you which goals you're trying to achieve. What's the objective here? Not, I've got some money, I'd like it working for me. Yes, that's great. But when that money's working and we turn it into lots more money, what are you going to use that for exactly? And I don't mean just so I can count pound notes. What are you going to spend them on, and how's that going to make you feel? Really, really clear vision and purpose. Okay. We then need a plan. So once we've got a clear vision and purpose, we need a plan. And not the plan isn't just the first 2 steps. Well, I want 25 properties. Well, the plan is to buy the first 2. No. Here's the plan to 25 properties. It says get 1 here, then we'll do this and get number 2, then we'll do this and get number 3, then we'll do that, and that, and we'll be able to get number 4, 5, and 6. Then if we do this, this, and this, we'll be able to do 5, 7, 8, and 9. A specific plan that takes you all the way from where you are now to those 25 properties, or whatever the clear purpose is for you. We need to understand payment and money. That's our job. We need to know when to buy for cash, when to use bridging finance, when to how to negotiate the best discounts, etc., etc. All the things that's going to drive more money back into your pocket. We need to get the purchase right in terms of all the different areas. This is about having skill set in all the different areas, and we need to be profitable. It's all about, if you're going to invest your money, you want the best return on investment for the least risk. If you can get a better return on investment than we can give you somewhere else with less risk, then you're better doing that. Okay, it's as simple as that and as straightforward as that. Now, you've got to weigh up the level of risk and the return on investment that you're going to get. Okay, so but we're talking about this isn't get rich quick. This is talking about getting wealthy, but in a very healthy amount of time. Okay, I don't want to give you get rich quick. If you're after get rich quick, you've come to the wrong place. But this is about getting wealthy in a healthy amount of time. And if you've got the resources for us to go ahead and get you 6 properties straight away and get this flying, you're going to put yourself in really brilliant shape to build a phenomenal portfolio, because the quicker you've got that groundswell of properties, they feed off each other and you grow faster and faster and faster. Okay. So when I'm teaching, I teach the safe, secure portfolio plan, and under each of these P's, purpose, plan, payment, purchase, profit, there are 10 key areas you need to master. And it takes me 22 days for my education students to learn all of that, to learn all of those 5 key areas in detail, okay? The reason I'm bringing it up on this webinar is to say, look, you don't need to spend that 22 days learning all of that, and then another 22 days or 50 days putting it into practice and then failing and tweaking it and learning with your own money. On our done for you service, my team are skilled up with this information. Our systems, our processes, we're 11 years in, we've bought over 1,000 houses. We know exactly what it takes to build you an outstanding portfolio. So we make sure that your portfolio is built in a way that means you've got mastery in all of these 10 areas to an 8, 9, or 10 out of 10, which is what you need to build a successful property portfolio. Okay, so we also need to make sure in any properties that we're buying for you that we're meeting what I call the 6 C's. Now, I'm assuming for this webinar a certain level of being around our business already and understanding. Apologies to any of you where that assumption is wrong. and you don't have a full understanding of what we do, or if you don't have an understanding of what the 6 C's are, I do apologize. What I need you to do is pick that up with my team, and we can send you the detail, so you get the absolute detail and you fully understand this. But every single property is going to be bought to those 6 C's. Those 6 C's mean if we're buying with a guaranteed 15% discount like we do on one of our products that I'm going to talk to you about, we look at 60 houses that have a genuine 15% discount, and whereas most investors would snap someone's hand off to buy the first one, we reject 59 out of 60 before recommending one to you. That's how thorough these 6 C's are. It's these 6 C's that mean we reject. It isn't a selection process. It's not about, let's go look at 10 houses online, view 5, and then select one and offer on it. This is deselect like crazy. So look at loads and loads and loads, and then get 60 that have a 15% discount, genuine, and then reject 59 of those still. Okay, that's what the 6 C's is all about. Okay, so it's really crucial that you understand that that's a unique point of difference with us. There is no other business in the UK that's buying as many properties for clients as we are at the Insight Group, and there is no other business in the UK that has such thorough and strict rules to make sure you only build an outstanding portfolio, because we're deselecting all the time to ensure you only get the best properties. Okay, so people say to me, look, this is interesting, Aaron. I'm getting a feel for you. I'm getting a feel for what you're doing. I'm a little bit concerned about the results that you'll get. So here's another couple of case studies. Again, I've gone cautious on the case studies, so I've gone with lesser amount. This is Chris, started with us back in 2010, initially invested 110,000 and bought 3 houses at the time. Okay, he's now got 7 properties. He's added no other funds, by the way. Got 7 properties portfolio worth nearly £1 million. He's seen in that 9-year period a 225% return on investment. That means his money, cash and equity, is now worth 350,000 plus, starting with 110,000 at the beginning, 340, 350. And he's now in a position to buy another 3 properties. Now that will get him to 10 properties. With 10 properties in his portfolio, he'll be receiving 20,000 of rental profit and close to 40,000 equity. He's going to be on £60,000 per annum, starting just 9 years ago with £110,000. Okay, let's look at the next example that I've got for you. This is Leanne. Leanne started with a divorce settlement of 140,000 just a couple of years ago. She purchased 5 properties there and then at the beginning. Okay, now she works as a consultant. As you can see, she's got a young one. They'd gone through a divorce, so she wanted to have more time and more flexibility to spend time with the young one. The 5 properties are creating an income of £1,400 net every month, which allows Leanne to spend more time with little one and work less often as a consultant. Okay, and once we refinance those 5 properties in the next 6 months, Leanne's going to be able to increase the number of properties and build that portfolio, which gives her more freedom to have even more time off, or to kick on and build a really sizable portfolio that will generate loads and loads of income long term. Property creates choices. Okay, so this opportunity to work with me, investing £250,000 plus, who is it for? Well, piece number 1, you need to have £250,000 plus to do this, either in cash or equity that you can release, or cash plus equity. If you're not sure what equity you can release, my team will work with you to help you know that for a fact. We're not mortgage brokers, but we work with world-class expert mortgage brokers, and you'll know exactly what you can release, so you know if you meet that criteria or not. Piece number 2, you need to want a superb return on investment. I've given you a couple of examples, and I'm going to give you some product details in a moment, but we're looking at, based on just 5% property price growth. The national average over the last 85 years is 7.9% per annum, and the past can't predict the future. Past performance doesn't predict the future, etc., etc. But based on just 5% property price growth per annum, which is half of the national average when you compound it over 10 years, your return on investment with a 250,000 investment would be 148% return on investment. That's kind of growing your 250 into £615,000 plus of cash and equity within 6 years if you sold up. Now, please don't sell up. That's a crazy idea. And then at 12 years, you're at 700% plus return on investment. Now, I want to be clear, this is boring, safe, secure, family-let investment. 3-4 bedroom, family-let, done as safely and securely as possible, de-risked as much as possible. We don't need to take big risks to get great returns on investment in property. You just need to know what you're doing. You need to know that you're buying the right houses, you're getting the right level of discount, and then you get these great returns. You need to believe in property investment. I've put there, you need to believe it's going to go up at least 4% per annum. Those figures on the line above are based on growth of 5% per annum. It works at 4% per annum. It works higher than that. The national average is 7.9. If you don't believe that property is going to go up in the next 10 years, don't do this. Go put your money in something else. But if you feel comfortable that property on average goes up at 4% per annum when the national average is 7.9, then do this. Okay, you need to want it done for you. This is for someone who wants someone in the background who's just an expert at this, understands that getting an expert to do it for them is going to add massive value, and you just want us to get on and do it. Understand it's not get rich quick, but it will get you wealthy in a healthy amount of time. You need to be someone who wants the experts. When I do something new, I want to compound decades into days. I don't want to spend 5 years, 10 years, 15 years learning how to do something when someone else already mastered it and they can show me in a couple of hours or a couple of days. I go to those experts and I'm willing to pay for them to show me how to shortcut my journey massively. And it's for you if you want to de-risk as much as possible. Okay, we need to de-risk this, take as much risk out as possible. If I buy you the wrong houses, you're going to kick my backside for the next 50 years, okay, until the day I leave this planet. So I don't need that. I don't need that. So we need to de-risk this and make it as risk-free. No investment is risk-free. If I was sat here telling you that, I'd tell you to run a mile, but we need to de-risk it as much as we can. Who's it not for? The investment is not for you if you're looking for get rich quick. It's not for you if you want a property job. If you're wanting to invest £250,000 but do it all yourself, this isn't for you, because this is a done for you investment. If you invest in the stock market, you don't go run the company. You put your money in and you back the world-class expert team of directors that they're going to grow that business that you have invested in, and they're going to outperform what the market thinks. That's what you do when you invest in the stock market. That's what you do when you invest your pension funds. This is property investment doing the same thing. You're backing a world-class expert team with proven track record to go grow your money. Okay, but if you want a property job and to do this for a living or to do this yourself, this product's not for you. If you prefer to take the risks and do it yourself, you know, my first 10 properties, I'm successful now, 200 plus properties, etc. But my first 10 properties were a nightmare. Those that have seen me at a one-day event and heard my story, we had properties trashed, we had tenants not paying the rent because I bought all the wrong houses. I didn't have my 6 C's. And I was losing hundreds of pounds, thousands of pounds, a couple of times, tens of thousands of pounds because I bought the wrong properties. If you want to take the risks and do it yourself, and you risk that higher risk because you're doing it yourself, you can do that. This product is not for you. But if you want an expert to do it for you who's kind of bought 1,000 already, we are the right fit. And if you're not willing to pay for outstanding support, okay, if you're not willing to invest in us to deliver to you, then this isn't for you. Okay, so why have I put Warren Buffett on the screen? Well, people have been saying to me recently, well, what about Brexit? You know, Brexit could affect this situation. And Warren Buffett, you know, this will be a quote you've no doubt heard before, and there's different definitions of it, but basically buy when everybody else is selling. Warren believes that you need to buy when other people are fearful. When other people are fearful. And by the way, I don't personally think that Brexit's going to have a massive impact on the housing market. I don't have a crystal ball, so I can't guarantee you that. Okay, I can't guarantee you that. However, I strongly believe that the market's had so long of Brexit that any adjustments that were going to happen have already happened. I think they may be at the point of Brexit, and who knows exactly when that'll happen and what that'll look like, but at the exact point of Brexit, there may be at that point a couple of months of a bit more stagnation, but then it will kick on because the bottom line is supply and demand. We have 1 million house shortfall in the UK already right now today. So 1 million houses less than we need to house who's already here. Each year we need to build a town the size of Southampton on top of what we already have to house the new people. We're not doing that. We're 100,000 houses more needed each year than were needed the year before. People think Brexit's going to stop migration. A lot of them voted for that reason. Personal view, I don't think it will change the migration a lot at all. I could be wrong. 30 years ago, mum and dad lived in one house, shared the kids in one house. More and more these days, sadly, mum's in one house, dad's in another house, kids moving between the two. The average number of people per household has dropped because of that, meaning we need more houses. We're a limited amount of land. We can't suddenly build more land. We're an island. So again, all these things are pushing on supply and demand. All these things pushing on the fact that the housing market, in my opinion, will continue to grow as it has been. But when is the best time to buy in your future? It's now. In the next 50 years of your lifetime, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, 70 years, how long are you going to be here? Now is the best time, right now, because now is when people are fearful. Once that fear is gone, prices will kick on again, and then you've got a problem. Okay, so just to plant that thought and get you to kind of think about that in terms of Brexit getting in the way. Okay, so to be honest with you, it will take us a couple of months to get fully moving and fully motoring and be buying houses. By then, hopefully, some kind of Brexit has happened anyway, but I can't guarantee or promise that. I want to quickly show you 3 slides on how we add some real value. You may be someone who historically or now owns properties for cash or has bought properties for cash. I just want to show you examples. So in this example, on the left-hand side, you've got a £100,000 property, no mortgage on it. The market goes up 10%. Your property goes up in value to 110,000. You've still got no mortgage on it. So the market went up 10% and you got £10,000 worth of equity growth. Okay. Now, let's look first of all at the leverage of using banks finance to speed up your journey. Let's assume we took that £100,000 and instead of putting it down as one deposit on one house, we split it across 4 properties. So we put a £25,000 deposit on each of these 4 houses, meaning we were able to buy 4 houses. Now, I know it's not quite that simple. You have costs of purchase, etc., but just for a simple illustration. The market goes up 10%, just like it did in the last example, but now you've got 4 houses going up in value instead of 1. These all become worth 110, like the previous example. So your equity has grown by £10,000, £40,000 of equity growth, even though the market only went up 10%. And even more exciting for me and for you is that you can go back to the bank and say, hey, bank, I've always put my rents up 3 to 5% a year. By the way, we do that for you. It's always do it, always. And because of that, can I borrow 75% of the new value of the house, please? And the bank will say, of course you can, but the mortgage will cost a bit more. And you say, that's fine because I put my rents up, that will cover it. So you now borrow 7,500 out of property, extra out of property 1, 7,500 out of property 2, 7,500 property 3, 7,500 property 4. It puts 30,000 back in your pocket. That's 30,000. You can either pay yourself back the original £100,000 investment, you pay yourself some money back, or if you're switched on, you'll go buy a 5th property. So next time you've got 5 properties going up in value. So if you buy for cash, by the way, if you've currently got money in the stock market, that's what you're doing. You're buying for cash because you put 100,000 in, the market goes up 10%, you make 10,000 of growth. Over time, generally, not an exact science, but the stock market goes up the same as property over time. So people present that argument all the time, but I always say, well, you can't get the leverage. The banks won't lend you. If you've got a hot tip on Tesco's shares and you went in the bank and said, will you lend me 75,000 to buy 100,000 of Tesco's shares, please? They'll laugh you out of the bank. Okay. Why is that? Is that because the banks are stupid? No, because they know property is more safe and secure than stock market investing is, and therefore they're happy to leverage and lend against it, which works for you because now you get 40% returns when the market just goes up 10%. Now let's take this a step further. Let's assume you buy each of your properties with a discount. Okay. Now with one of our leading products, we promise a 15% discount. Okay. Now in this example, just to make the maths easy, I've worked with a 20% discount. So please be clear, I'm not promising a 20% discount, just made my maths easy. So we buy 5 properties on the left-hand side now. They're worth 100,000, but we buy them at 80,000, 20% discount. Because we're buying them for 80,000, we need to get a £20,000 deposit, smaller deposit because it's smaller purchase price, and a 60,000 mortgage. So we buy each of these for 80,000 with a 60 mortgage, which means with our £100,000 we can buy 5. The market now goes up 10%. We've got 5 houses going up in value. So we make 50,000 of equity growth, but we also bought each house for a 20,000 discount. So in that example, we've got £100,000 of equity from the discount, 50,000 of equity growth. That's £150,000 worth of equity that we didn't have when we started. And because the market's gone up, we just do what we did last time. We borrow 75% of the new value, which was identical to the last slide, 82,500. But this time, that means you're releasing, the previous mortgage was 60,000, you're releasing 22,500 on property one, 22,500 on property two, etc. You're able to release £112,500. You've got all of your investment back out. You can either go, thanks, I'll have that back, or you can go again. You could go again. Now, please understand, I'm not promising you this with your investment, because I'm just illustrating the point, because you will have costs of purchase, you'll have some costs that you need to pay for us to do this all for you, okay? But I want you to get the principle. The principle is here, you can either have your money sat in equity, it's earning you nothing. You can have it sat in savings, it's earning you virtually nothing, it's depreciating. You can buy something for cash and the market goes up 10%, you get 10% returns. You can spread that money with banks leverage, the market goes up 10%, you get 40% returns. Or you can work with someone like us who does all of that and buys at discount as well. The market's gone up 10% in this example, and this person's getting 150% return and all their money back out, even though the market just went up 10%. It's just crazy. This is what property can do for you. Okay. So, here's another case study. I'm just giving you these to kind of inspire you and get you to think about this. Mitchell wants to spend more time with his children. They're his priority. So he started his property portfolio 2 years ago with £150,000. He's now on property number 8 with us. Number 8. Now, his fast pace with property investing, it's really great that he did this. And he wasn't planning for this, but he's just been made redundant. Now, because he's been made redundant, he said, what's my portfolio making me? Well, it's making about 18,000 a year of rental profit and 24,000 a year of equity releases. That's £42,000 per annum. It means that Mitchell doesn't have to rush back into work. He can actually spend some time, lots more time with his kids if he wants. Now, as it happens, Mitchell likes working, so he wants to continue working and keep building this. But this gives him choices that he didn't have 2 years ago. This gives him the opportunity that he didn't have 2 years ago, and that was starting with 150,000. This is Parag. Parag's an incredibly successful business person. He's now actually a business coach as well. Does a lot of coaching, based in London. He'd been dabbling in property for 9 years and he'd got to 3 properties. Now they were doing okay, but nothing special. He bought, again, not to the 6 C's, etc. Within a year of working with us, he'd gone from 3 to 10 properties within a year. And since then we've kicked on, and Parag's been able to release back out of his investments and buy his dream home. He's used the investments to build equity that he then used back in to buying his dream home. And we've got case study after case study after case study. And of course, you can speak to clients of ours, and I don't mean here's my 2 best friends' phone numbers. You can speak to clients of ours that have achieved these results. Now, what I've done, if you're going to invest £250,000 plus, if any of you stayed on the webinar that have less than that, you've seen all those testimonials I just showed you. They're all people with less than 250,000. We can achieve those. You need to be speaking to my team about Portfolio Builder and Cash Flow Builder. Okay. So again, chat in the chat box. If you've less than 250,000, but you want an appointment with the team, just put it in the chat box. Tell us the date and the time to call you. You need to be available for 45 minutes. And they'll help you work out which product is best for you, and then you can fully explore it. If that's less than 250,000, you'll get the kind of results I've shown you. But if you've got £250,000 plus, which this webinar is all about, here are the 3 products that we have that can help you. We call them silver, gold, and platinum. Now, silver is driven around people who want cash flow today. So if you're somebody who has got 250,000 to invest, but you've lost your job, or 250,000 to invest and it's sat in savings, but you're living off the interest, you're retired or something like that, silver creates the most cash flow today, but less growth long term. Now, it's long-term growth figures. If I was just showing you silver, are phenomenal. 86% return on investment within 6 years. Compare that to the bank in 6 years making you 6 or 7% return on investment, or sat in equity making you nothing. It's phenomenal. Okay, and it really kicks on to 12 years. But if 12 years of investing 250,000, you'll get 410% return on investment on that silver product. Okay, these are phenomenal returns. You've quadrupled that money, okay, and got your investment back. So why does it kick on from year 6 to year 12? By the way, part of it is momentum. It's getting that momentum going. The other part of it is, remember, when you first buy an investment property, you have your upfront costs, your solicitors, your stamp duty. They're one-off sunk costs, but you never pay them again once you've paid them. So your momentum gets faster and faster and faster, and you're not held back by the sunk costs. Okay. Now, just to explain this column, if we look at the silver, 250,000 invested, after 6 years, you'd have 12 properties in your portfolio. We're going to get 6 or 7 straight away in the next 4 months. And after 6 years, you're going to be on 12 properties, 86% return on investment. And if you stopped at that point and said, look, stop, don't get me any more properties, 12 is enough, I just want to live off these properties, based on 5% property price growth, you would be on just under £75,000 a year of rental profits and equity release, the majority of that tax-free. And if you don't understand that fully, then again, my team can explain that to you. If you go for 12 years with a 250,000 investment on silver, you're 410% return on investment, you'd have 26 properties. Remember, this is all being done for you. You're going to have to sign for them, read and sign for them, but your money coming from that per annum for the rest of your life, based on 5% growth, which is half the national average over 10 years, is £222,000. If we were in a room and I said, who would like £222,000 per annum, raise your hand for the rest of your life, virtually tax-free, virtually every hand would go up. Okay, and this is the same model we've been using and delivering to people again and again and again. Okay, now some of you may say, well, I like the idea of that and of cash flow, but I'm in it for the longer term, and you start to move up to gold. So at gold, we promise, on silver, we're looking for rental yield. We're driven by yield of 7.2%, but we don't promise discount. We promise 3% discount, so a little bit of discount. As we move up to gold, you're getting 7.5% guaranteed discount off the value of the house. So we're negotiating really hard on this. It might be on Rightmove, priced 5% higher than it's actually worth, plus with 7.5%. So it might look like 12, 13, 14% off what it's on Rightmove, but let's be genuine, it's about 7.5% discount that we guarantee, and your yields are not so high. But that product will deliver you more in terms of return on investment. So 250K invested, you've got 13 properties instead of 12 after 6 years, 30 properties instead of 26 after 12 years, and you're on 250K a year. So you put 250K in now, and in 12 years, you're on 250K a year for the rest of your life. Now, Platinum right now, at this moment, we have an offer on, okay? And I'm going to show you the Platinum offer specifically in just a moment, because it just blows the other two currently out of the water. Now, this is only on for a short period of time. Some of you may have heard about this already. We're just kind of really driving the Platinum product forward. And once the places are gone, they're actually gone, and we're going to close the product forever. And we normally have a profit share product sat there. So silver, gold, and profit share. Okay, I'm not explaining profit share because the Platinum again blows that out of the water as well. So, but on Platinum, you can see 250K invested in 6 years, you'd have 16 houses. You could stop working then and be on 100 grand a year, and you've got 150% growth on your money in cash and equity just within 6 years. Or you can wait longer, 12 years. By the way, it doesn't have to be 6 or 12. You can be 9 or 7, or we'll build it bespoke to you. In 12 years, you're going to have 41 properties with that 250K investment. And if you stop then and live off the money coming out of it, £345,000 per annum, 730% return on investment. In some ways, I don't want to show you those figures because you might think it's too good to be true. Okay, this is basic maths. We have the spreadsheets we can give you so you can put the numbers in, see the maths, see how it adds up, and see how it works for yourself. Okay, these are everyday numbers for us. These are things that we're achieving for people time and time again. So right now, with the offer on, Platinum beats the other two. So let me just show you a little bit more about Platinum, but what I'm about to show you will apply to gold and silver as well if you're somebody who needs to create more cash flow right now immediately today. By the way, the Platinum properties come with a guaranteed 15% discount, guaranteed, and also come with 7% yield. So if it's a £100,000 property, the rent needs to be at least £7,000 per annum, which is just under 600 a month, and multiples up and down of that. Okay, so with any of these three products, we're going to do all the work for you. So what are the kind of things that we say that we'll cover for you? And we listed them all as bonuses because we normally charge for each of these products a £5,000 mentorship fee. I say normally, I'll reveal shortly what the offer is, okay? But we normally charge a £5,000 mentorship fee. To give you a tip, you're not going to pay it, okay? So what comes with that £5,000 mentorship fee that you're going to get in with all of this? Bonus one, 15 years of world-class property expertise. Now, everything I'm going to go through, I'm going to say we're guaranteeing you we're going to do it for at least the next 15 years. We want to work with you for decades and decades. I want my great-great-great-great-grandchildren to be looking after your great-great-great-great-grandchildren's properties. That's how this product is designed, okay? However, if something happens to me, I'm run over by a bus, I have a director team, a management team, this all works without me, but I don't want to commit them and my wife to be beyond 15 years if they don't want to go further than that. They are committed till then contractually, but if they don't want to go further than that, I don't want to commit them. Now, I think they will, I'm sure they will, and I want to, but that's why it says 15 years. So world-class property expertise is you having a personal property expert who will review your portfolio. Now, they're not just going to review all the houses we buy for you each year. They're going to review any that you've bought yourself before us or during being with us. And they're going to make sure that you know exactly how they're performing, how much they've gone up by equity-wise, how much rent profit is coming in, and what they recommend as the next steps. So they're going to review on an annual basis at worst, normally on this level of service at 6 monthly intervals. And they're going to help you know exactly what you're doing, what to do next, how to grow your portfolio. The value of that, let's say, is £250 a year to have a property expert doing that for you. So there's £3,750 of value. You're getting that in with this package, okay? Bonus number two, world-class teams. It took me 2 decades to build my solicitors, my accountants, my letting agents, my tradespeople, all the different people you need to have at the table, my financial advisors that all understand property inside out, back to front, and are masters at what they do. Not just good, not just great, they're masters at what they do. It took 2 decades to build those teams. All of those teams become your team when you become a client of one of these elite products, okay? Let's say, it cost me thousands in mistakes using the wrong people, tens of thousands that you just don't need to make now. So there's at least £2,000 worth of value having that world-class team. And by the way, you can use that world-class team for any properties you buy whilst being a client of ours, as well as the properties we're managing and buying for you, okay? Bonus 3, your mortgages and buildings insurance. All the mortgages you've currently got and that you're going to have, if we're going to buy you 6 properties, 10 properties, 20, 30, that's a lot of mortgages. They all need tracking. And the best way to track mortgages is 3 months before that mortgage is due for renewal, is to have somebody look at that and trigger a review and find the best deal at that time. And you need them to be looking at the whole of the market, okay? Same with your residential mortgage, same with any other buy-to-lets. And busy people often forget, and then they slip onto the variable rate and they're paying over the odds, okay? You work hard enough to earn your money, you don't want someone tracking this. Buildings insurance. What if your property is empty? Do you know, have you read all the small print, the 50 pages of small print that came with your policy? So you know if your buy-to-let is empty, how often you need to check the water, how often do you need to sign a document on a fortnightly basis or more often, on a weekly basis or monthly basis? How does that exactly work? Have you got all those controls in place? Otherwise, suddenly your house burns down when it's empty and your insurance won't pay out because you missed a small bit that was on page 49 of the terms and conditions. Okay, so we have this bonus number 3 is somebody that will track your mortgages and track your buildings insurance and make sure they're all in the right place at the right time. And if it comes to ever needing to claim, if you've got 30 properties for the next 20 years, you'll have a claim at some point. They'd manage all the claims. So everything's managed for you. You won't even know about it. We'll just get it done for you. Okay. So this is all done for you in a hands-free way. I'm saying that's worth £99 a year. It's worth far more than that. But over the next 15 years, £1,500 worth of value there. What are we going to do? What else are we going to do? We're going to make sure you're compliant with all the changes in legislation. You know, if a slate slips off that roof and lands on a passing child or a passing person and causes some serious damage, do you have the right professional indemnity cover with your insurances for your investment properties? You know, when your void property is empty, we've already talked about. Is your AST compliant? If you end up needing to evict somebody or you've got a problem, are you up to speed with that? Do you know that when to issue an EPC to the tenant, well, the gas cert to the tenant? From a health and safety point of view, do you know what checks you need to do and don't do, electric, Legionnaires, etc., and all the lettings laws, the right to reside, etc.? All this stuff's going to be done for you, so you don't need to think about it. So often experienced, intelligent people think, I'll do this myself, but they end up leaving themselves vulnerable, and they have a successful business or successful life elsewhere, and they've invested a bit naively. I did it at the beginning, and you leave yourself really vulnerable by accident. You need an expert in this area to do this properly. So let's say that's worth £97 a year. For that peace of mind, it's worth so much more than that. Times that by 15, that's £1,500 over the 15-year period. Okay, bonus 5. These are all coming for free with a package. You need to buy in the right structure. For many of you, the right structure will be limited company, but we'll help you work that out. I went and interviewed the 5 leading property tax accountants. I said, look, what do my clients need to know to make sure they set up correctly? And for 98% of you, we can help you to know exactly what the best structure is for you. For many of you investing £250,000 plus, it will be limited company, but not for all of you. We'll go through and help you with that. For the 2% of you that we can't cover, we'll bring in my world-class accountants, and I'll pay for you to have an hour with them to give you best advice to help you set this up correctly. Okay, so let's call that £97,000 per annum, because we're going to track this every year and make sure you're always in the best place. £1,500 worth of value. Bonus 6. So bonus 6 is my VIP educational package. Now, some of you are going to go, just get this done for me, get on with it. I'm getting on with my life. I want to spend time with my family, or time on my business, or just you do this in the background, and that's cool. Lots of people, however, also come to us and say, while you're doing that for me, can you also teach me? Can I learn how to do this for myself? Either just so I can keep a damn good eye on you, or can I learn to do it for myself, and I might do it myself in the future as well, because I've got other resources and other funds. The VIP educational package that we have has over 19 days of property training live in person with me, and 6 days, by the way, with my world-class expert speakers. You've got, from an education point of view, email access to me personally for 2 years. So you can ask me any question you want about any deal you're looking at personally, any deal you're looking to buy. Fortnightly live webinars where you can ask me any question that you want. You get 4 VIP tickets for guests, plus 1 for you to attend my 3-day Property Mentorship Academy program, etc., etc. Other businesses sell the VIP package at £20,000. You know, Progressive Property is 26,000. Simon Zucci, I think, it's about 25,000 these days for his mastermind. This is a course and a program that is similar to that. And we've got clients joining the VIP program through education. Those of you with £35,000 or less, that was what I pointed you towards. But for you guys that are investing £250,000 plus with me, I'm going to give you free access to all of that VIP program. Now, some of you say, I don't want that. That's fine, no problem. But you're going to get that if you want it, or you can come and attend whatever you want to attend as part of it, because I'm serious about educating you while we get on and build your portfolio as well. Bonus 7 that is unique to this webinar, totally unique to this webinar. Bonus number 7 is that I am personally over the next 4 months going to work with 6 people to build this portfolio. So normally my team would be they would look after you and they would do a great job. But what I want is more case studies, okay? So I want to work with 6 of you to specifically, over a 4-month period, explode your property investing. The deal is that once I've done that, I'm going to offer you some great discounts, and I'm offering you all those bonuses. But once I've done that, I want you in return to give me a great case study. I have to deliver first, but I will have delivered in the next 6 months, and you'll be going, great, here's an awesome case study. Aaron did what he said on the tip, okay? So I'm going to personally work with my team as well. You know, my team are going to be fully involved, but I'm going to personally work with you over the starter months to get you to 6 properties. For many of you, it'll be 7 properties plus, but to get you to at least 6 properties straight away. Okay, I'm going to argue that that's priceless, because if I can make sure that all those properties, for example, come with a 15% discount, if that's 6 properties, that will make you £90,000 in discount savings instantly, £90,000 of equity instantly in your portfolio, okay, and maybe more. So all of those bonuses are coming with this package. So what does it normally cost to get us to build you a portfolio on, for example, the portfolio builder product, the platinum product, should I say? So that platinum product that gives you 148% return on investment in 6 years and 700% return on investment in 12 years, okay? What does it normally cost? Well, there's 3 guarantees I want to give you first of all. Guarantee 1, you'll never ever buy a bad property when you work with us. Because we have these 6 C's, we're going to buy every single property to the 6 C's. Because it's a 15% discount, we're also going to look at least 60 properties with already a genuine 15% discount and reject 59 out of 60 before we put one in front of you to start with. We've been doing this for 11 years. Guarantee number 2, if you've got 12 years to go, okay, with a £250,000 investment, I'm going to create your portfolio over that 12 years that's going to make you, based on 5% property price increases. I can't guarantee the price growth. That's the only bit I can't guarantee. But I'm going to build you a portfolio that will make you £345,000 per annum every year on average for the rest of your life, okay? And guarantee, linked to those 2 guarantees, everything that we do is tax deductible. So any investment cost with us, remember our investment fees are fully tax deductible. We will show you how to offset any money you spend with us whatsoever against your property income so that they're tax deductible. Okay. Lastly, those of you that are up for taking action, and by the way, these 6 places are going to go fast. So you need to be up for taking action. And if you're not, that's fine. If this isn't for you right now, that's absolutely fine. You can come back and join us. We won't have that platinum product anymore, but we'll still have silver and gold that get you awesome returns on investment of 400% plus over 12 years and just around 100% within 6, you know, just brilliant return on investment. So we'll still have those. So it's not a problem if you can't act now. But those of you who act now will get to work with me personally, because I'm going to work with 6 people. You'll get all the information, because you can't make any information from a webinar like this. We're going to get all the information out to you. You'll decide whether to invest. If you make that decision within 14 days and take one of the 6 spaces, there's going to be some discount that we offer to you specifically, as well as all those bonuses and as well as me personally working for you. Okay. So what does the investment cost? How do we make our money? Now, normally the way we make our money is in 4 ways. The first is there's a mentorship fee, a joining fee, if you will. It's £5,000 to join. That £5,000 is a one-off payment to join us, and we then work for you. Secondly, for each property that we're going to source, negotiate on, sort the solicitor, sort the mortgage, get it bought, sort the refurbishment, get it tenant manager, for each property, it's 5833 plus VAT. Okay. Now I'm going through here the platinum product, by the way. So some people say I want to pay less fees. The silver product comes with less fees. Okay, but the return on investment is less. So if you were my family, I'd say go for this one. This is going to get you far better returns, but we can show you the others. The team can talk you through each and every one. But for platinum, which gets you the best return on investment, having paid our investment fees, gets you the best return on investment as well. It's $7,000 per property, but that isn't a sourcing fee. That covers the property for the next 15 years. All that tracking, everything I've said we're going to do, all those bonuses, all for the next 15 years included within that investment. We normally take a profit share. I take 25% of the upside of all the profits that you get, and we normally charge a letting agency fee to manage the property. So you don't have to use our letting agency, but every single investor has, bar none, once they've seen how detailed our systems and structures are and how good we are at what we do. Now, here's the offer. That mentorship fee for 6 people that go ahead in the next 14 days, that mentorship fee disappears. You need to be investing 250,000 plus. you need to be committing to 6 properties plus, but that mentorship fee of £5,000 disappears. Also, on top of that, the profit share with Aaron disappears for those 6 people. So if you're interested, if you're seriously interested in this, and you have £250,000 plus to invest, then the investment for you will be £7,000 per property. And then you'll pay the letting agency to manage those properties and let those properties out for you. Okay, that £7,000 is a one-off fee per property. It is per property, but that will cover you for 15 years of everything that I've just said we're going to do for you. If we weigh up the investment, and remember, remember it's all tax deductible. So actually, if you're a 40% taxpayer, that's £7,000, 40% you'll be able to offset against your tax returns for your property income. It's like you've just knocked off 2,800. You're getting all of that for the next 15 years and a 15% discount at source property and everything else we're going to do for you for just over £4,000 a property, because it's tax deductible. If you're a 20% taxpayer, you can offset 20%. You're getting all of that and everything that we do for you for just over £5,000. So it's really crucial to understand all of these costs tax deductible, and this offer is just for 6 people who go ahead in the next 14 days. You need to do your due diligence. We're going to send you the spreadsheets. We're going to give you all the information. I'm going to allocate you one of my property experts to analyze this with you, and then I'm going to personally speak with you as well, and then you'll make your decision. But if you get in, you're getting massive, massive, massive discount. You're not giving away any profit share to me, which costs tens of thousands of pounds with this size of investment, in fact, hundreds of thousands, and you're not paying that £5,000 upfront mentorship fee at the beginning. Okay, so let's look at what that investment looks like. If you're investing 250,000 and you were getting 6 properties at 7,000 each, that's a £42,000 investment. But remember, and that £42,000 that you're going to be paying to us comes from the 250. You don't need that extra. That comes from the 250. Remember, if you're a 20% taxpayer, it's like getting 8,000 off. That's about 35,000. If you're a 40% taxpayer, it's like getting 16,000 off that, and it's like paying about 26,000. Okay, after tax. Now, what are the returns you get? In return for that, you're going to get 148% return on investment within 6 years. You're going to get 727% return on investment within 12 years. This is based on 5% property price growth. Guaranteed 15% discount on every single property that we buy for you, not from the market, what it's up for sale at, but from a genuine market value. Guaranteed these properties meet the 6 C's, guaranteed peace of mind. You've got Aaron Curry personally involved in the first 6 purchases. You've got his team who've bought over 1,000 properties managing all of this. You've got the VIP program included within this, which is worth £20,000 on its own. And you've got all those other bonuses worth £15,000 on their own, all for that single investment. This is world-class property investment. The deal is, I'm making it a no-brainer for you, because the deal is, once I've delivered to you, I need an awesome case study from you. Because once I have got that awesome case study from you, and we're delivering again and again from that point of view, that helps me to land more clients. Of course, these costs, this investment fee will go up. There'll be a lot less bonuses, a lot less included in what we do. And all of that, a 250,000 investment, yes, 42,000 of investment fees to us for those 6 properties, but net of costs is about 26,000 if you're a 40% taxpayer. We're going to build your portfolio based on 5% property price growth that will make you £345,000 a year from year 12 onwards for life, virtually tax-free and inflation proof. Okay, so that is what we can do for you. It comes with a stack of guarantees, which I've covered already, but also total peace of mind because of 6 C's. It'll be bespoke and personal to you. We'll guarantee that your properties will all rent within 10 weeks because they're going to meet those 6 C's. We're going to buy outstanding properties. If they don't, we pay the rent for you if it doesn't rent after 10 weeks. Of course, we do rental checks before we even buy the house. That's how we know they're going to rent. They normally, on average, rent within 5 weeks. That includes refurbish time. We're going to look at 100 plus properties just to recommend you one. If we're buying at 15% discount on Platinum, we'll look at 60 with 15% discount just to recommend you one. And you have total control, no tie-ins. So if we don't deliver, you just don't buy. Okay, now we do deliver. Why would we do all of this if we're not going to deliver? Okay, so you've got all those guarantees sat behind this. Now, I want to have even more case studies like the one I've shown you. A couple of final case studies. This is Simon Carroll. They invested 200,000 in 2013. They've now got 12 houses worth well over 1.4 million. And within the next 12 months, they're set to purchase 4 more properties. They're going to be on 16 properties. Within 6 years, they got 174% return on investment. And in terms of rental profit, they've got £24,000 per annum. They've got £50,000 of equity releases per annum. If they stop building their portfolio now, they'd be on £74,000 per annum. Now, they haven't stopped because they're still growing, but it gives you a feel of where they're at, okay? This is Mark. Mark was one of the first people I joint ventured with and worked with to help him build a portfolio. Since then, he's grown a portfolio in yellow at the bottom here that is over £6 million worth of property that creates £6,000 per month of cash flow for him and a further £6,000 per month for his JV partner and £300,000 plus of equity growth each year. So he's on 72,000 of rental profit a year and 300K plus of equity growth each year. Okay, these are the kind of results that you can get when you're investing long term. Okay, I want you to be next. I want you to be next. Here's what we're going to do. Okay, what I would like you to do, if this interests you, you need to meet the criteria. Okay, provided you meet the criteria, and if this interests you, what you need to do right now is we need to set up a call with one of my property mentors to see if we are the right fit. Okay, that call is going to take 45 minutes. You need to give us a date and a time that you will pick up the phone and answer the phone when they call you. Now, by the way, if you don't pick up the phone at that date and time that gets agreed, then I'm pretty certain we're not going to be the right fit. You know, if we're going to build you a massive portfolio, we need to work with somebody. Then you might be really, really busy, but we need to work with someone who sticks to their commitment. So if you commit to a date and a time, please make sure you show up. These property mentors know what every single person that started has been on the journey with us and has got over, over 1,000 properties bought now, started with one of these calls. You're going to speak with one of my top property mentors, okay? It will be Danny, Matt, or Paula. Stacks and stacks of experience of getting people really moving. They will spend 45 minutes with you. They're going to ask you a ton of questions to start with to make sure this is the right opportunity for you. If for any reason it's not, they will tell you. If we're not right for you, they'll tell you. If they don't think we're going to be able to deliver for you, they will tell you, okay? If you have that appointment, by the way, even if we end up not working with you, you'll get massive value out of that 45 minutes. It will really, really help you. Now, once you've had that 45 minutes with Danny, Matt, or Paula, what they will then do after that 45 minutes, if they feel that we are the right fit and they feel that we can help you, they will send you all the information you need. So the spreadsheets that you can drop your own numbers in, a webinar where I cover this in much more detail. They'll introduce you to other clients so you can check that we deliver what we say on the tin. All of that kind of stuff is going to come to you. At the end of that, if you want a personal conversation with me, they'll ask you to say, look, are you definitely serious? Can you show us that you've got proof of funds, that you're available, that either in equity or cash to do this? Provided you have, then we will have a chat. We will have a chat for half an hour to make sure that you're comfortable with me and to ask any final questions, that the property mentor will have answered all your questions, and for us to then commit to move forward, okay? I'm looking for 6 people. This opportunity will go in the next 14 days because, it's a phenomenal offer to work personally with me. That hasn't been available for a number of years now, to work personally with me. And, it's not going to be around again. I'm doing it to get these case studies and to really, really deliver into you, okay? By the way, anyone that's working with my team without me, they do an awesome, awesome job. So you don't need me, but I want to bespokely work with you. So this offer won't be here after the next 14 days. This offer also will not be here with all those bonuses included, particularly that £5,000 discount on the mentorship fee as you join us, and the profit share is going to be disappearing too. So if this is potentially for you, you need to be booking an appointment now. Now, the way that you do that is on the question box on the right-hand side. No one else can see it, remember. You type in your name, your phone number, because I know what some of you are like when you register for a webinar, you put some random number on there. So put your name, your current phone number so we can get you on it. Put the date and the time that you will be available for that 45-minute call. And of course, that needs to be soon, because within the next 14 days, these 6 slots will have gone. We've got a massive interest here, okay? So these 6 slots will have gone. So type in your name, your number, the date that you will be available, and the time that you will be available. If any of you have stayed on and you've got less than £250,000 and you'd like an appointment with one of my property mentors to look at Portfolio Builder or Cash Flow Builder, which doesn't come with all these offers but has its own offers, then you need to put the date, the time, your name, your phone number, and you need to put the amount of money you've got available to invest, just so they know when they're calling you what you're looking at and what your scenario is, okay? So go ahead and do that right now in that questions box so that we make sure that we work with the people that are serious about this. Like I said, you need to then turn up for that appointment. Do not book an appointment with us and don't turn up, because if that just shows us straight away we're not the right fit, and you won't be, the odds are you won't be getting one of those six slots. These property mentors are really, really busy day in, day out. So, but put a date and a time in. If you struggle to find availability during the day for an investor with this kind of investment, they will have appointments available from the evenings and also potentially on weekends. So if you're struggling to find the day, you can put a date or a time that is an evening or is a weekend. Okay. The team in the morning will check the date and time you've put. If it's tomorrow, of course, they'll get onto you straight away. If not, they'll text you and they'll get in contact with you. If you can't type into the questions box for any reason, somewhere around this video, you may be able to see somewhere you can type it in. Okay, so make sure it gets submitted. So remember the guarantee. We're only ever going to buy you properties that meet the 6 Cs. The guarantee that with a 250,000 investment over a 12-year period, you may not want 12 years, I'm just giving you examples, that you will get a portfolio that makes you £345,000 per annum for the rest of your life. And this is not hyperbole. That's based on 5% property price growth. We can show you how. This might sound too good to be true. It's not. It's genuine maths that works in property, and we'll show you exactly how it builds. And remember, that's based on 5% property price growth. Remember, all of our investment fees are tax deductible. And remember that you're going to have me personally working with you. So it's Aaron Curry that's going to personally work with you. I've got over 200 properties in my own portfolio. We've helped our clients to buy over 1,000 properties. And you're going to have me personally working with you to build you this world-class portfolio, to help you build these first 6 properties, which will be the foundation that everything else is going to build upon. Okay, so go ahead right now, if you haven't done it already. If you want one of those appointments, you need to be putting those appointments in the question box, and then my team will be in touch with you. Remember, the fast action bonus, to be really clear, is if you get all the information and make a decision to invest within the next 14 days, there are just 6 spaces, they will go, then, which means you need to be speaking to us in the next 2-3 days, then we will waive that £5,000 mentorship fee. That will be removed. We will waive that profit share, so that will also be removed, and we will give you the bonus of getting to work with Aaron specifically, that's me, specifically, and having me build your portfolio. We'll give you the bonus of the VIP educational package, which is worth well over £20,000 at any other company right now. You'll get all of that package as well if you're interested in education, and all of those other bonuses that I went through as well, and the team can take you through if it's of interest. Okay, so as I said, go ahead, book your appointment, put your time in. The team will call you then. It'll be a 45-minute call. They'll be asking you lots of questions to start with, because they need to make sure we're the right fit. They need to make sure that they're comfortable that you're going to be fine to hand it over to us and let us deliver to you, that you're going to let us grow you a brilliant portfolio and let us invest successfully for you. They want to be comfortable. By the way, that's not handing your money over. That's handing over the control to choose the houses and send them to you. You're in total control of your money. It stays in your bank account, kept safe in your hands. I'm not running off to the Bahamas with it. It stays with you. Okay, so cool. So I hope that makes sense. I've got a couple of people that have said they were just struggling to type in to book that appointment. If for any reason you've struggled, ideally type it in. That's the best way to book the appointment. If not, you can click here to say that you'd like a call. Okay, so I'll just put that poll up. The calls all will come, by the way, from 01723. That's our code where we're ringing from. We're not British Gas. We're not an electric company. 01723 is head office is based in Scarborough. I work at head office, but also live in Wilmslow in Cheshire, just below Manchester. But 01723, when you get a call from that number, answer it. It's us. But you can click here to say, yes, please call me. If you do click that, we will call you in the next 24 hours. Please answer the phone. If you've not typed in a specific appointment, you might say, maybe call me. I'd like some more information, please. Or you may say, no, thank you. I was just here for the education. And any of those are fine. About 70% of you, 60, 65, 66 to 70% have clicked yes and maybe. And about the balance, about 25%, actually about 76%, 75% have clicked yes and maybe. About 25% say no, thank you. So can I ask that every single one of you click on one of those? Because you can actually all click on one of those, can't you? There's no reason not to be able to click one. If you're a no thank you, just click no thank you. Then we know. Then we follow up with the right people and don't follow up with the wrong people, if that makes sense. So, okay. So what I'm going to do is, while you're clicking, again, there's about 20% of people left to click. If you can just go ahead and do that. What I'm going to do is just open up and see if anybody's asked any questions as we've been going along, so I can make sure that we get your questions answered right now while you're here. So if I can just ask the other 20% to click, because I can't move on to the questions until you've clicked. So please, can you make sure you've clicked, and then I know that we're either a yes please or a maybe or a no thank you, and then we can move on to the Q&A. Okay. So go ahead and get clicked. If you've not clicked now, please go ahead and get clicked as quickly as you can so we can move forward. Okay, that is cool. Okay, so yeah, we finished up about 65 to 70% saying yes please or maybe, and about 35% we're just here for the education. So that's totally cool. Okay. So let's have a look at the questions that have come in. By the way, everyone that's booked an appointment, we will call you at your appointment time. If there's any problem with that, they'll text or message you to change it, but otherwise we will be in contact, okay? So if you've said yes, please, or maybe, we will call you tomorrow. Please pick up the phone, please answer the phone, okay? So just picking up other questions, a few people have said, early on in the webinar, they said, actually, I'm interested in the VIP program, or I'm interested in some other stuff. Can I just click to say that I'm interested in that? So just for those of you that want to click to say you're interested in anything else, I'll put up a separate poll. So mortgage help, you might all be interested in, by the way. That's my personal mortgage broker. You will get access to them. So my personal mortgage broker will work for you if you are on these products. But my own personal mortgage broker's team will work for any of you, and they'll give you a free review if you want. So if you're trying to work out what equity you can release, or you need to get a decision in principle to make sure you can buy properties, whether you invest with us or invest yourself, then you might like some mortgage help for them just to review that. Click the portfolio builder option if you're just interested in, you didn't have the 250,000, you had less, but you'd like to get the information on portfolio builder or cash flow builder are done for your products with less than 250,000. Click the property education button if you're interested in my PMA program, which is my 3-day event with a year of wraparound training for just a couple of £1,000, or my VIP program. And click Insight Lettings if you've got properties that you have to let anywhere from Northampton to Newcastle, West Coast to East Coast. My lettings business will be delighted to tell you what we do to let those. So you can click the relevant buttons there if you'd like to do that. So let's have a look at what else we've got here. So thank you so much for those of you that have asked to book appointments. We will make sure that we get with you at those appointment times and work with you with those. Okay. There's also people that have booked appointments with less than 250,000, which is cool. So you will have those as well. Anybody that's just put a day, can you give us a time? So, you know, I've got a couple of people, for example, have said Friday or Thursday. Can you give me a specific time on that day where you will definitely be available to answer that phone? It just means that my team can put it in the diary, and that's absolutely great. I'm being asked, what about if I need financial advice help? Within our power teams, within our experience teams, we have financial advisors that understand all about property investing as well. So those financial advisors become available to you because they're part of my team. So if that's, now I am, let's be clear, I'm not a financial advisor. So if you want help with stock market or pension, it won't be me, because I'm not the expert at that. I believe in getting you the right experts for the right thing, but you will use my financial advisors if you're a client of this product, and they will look after you as well to look at that. If you need help setting up limited company, I'm asking about that, and tax advice. Again, I'll help with all of that. We can help you do that thoroughly and properly, so that you know what you're doing. 98% of people, with the information I'll give you, that will be enough for you to make a very informed decision. For the 2% of you that isn't enough, I'll then introduce you at my cost. You get an hour with my personal accountant. They charge about £250 for an hour, and they will give you the best advice so you set up in the right structure. Okay. I'm being asked, do you source commercial and serviced accommodation as part of this? No, it's buy to let. It's safe, secure. We are masters at this. I believe in mastery. I believe in being brilliant at what you do and just mastering it. So on my VIP program, I teach lots of different strategies because they need lots of different strategies depending on resources, etc., to go build that portfolio on my education program. But for our done for you services, it's all safe, secure, 3-4 bedroom, buy to let. These returns on investments for me are phenomenal enough without needing to take any bigger risks or invest in anything that's any more risky. So, okay, I think I've answered most questions that have come in, but if you do have any other questions, then please type them in now. It'd be important that you type them in now so we get to talk about them. But otherwise, then my team really look forward to our appointments with you. I'm being asked, would you look at optimizing our existing buy-to-let portfolio as well? 100%. So by the way, when you become a client of ours, to be honest, any client, whether they invest just 35,000 right up to $1 million, we would work with you to look, if you want us to look at your current portfolio as well, to say, look, how's this performing? And that property expert reviewing on a yearly basis or 6 monthly, they'll review your current portfolio as well as ours, tracking the mortgages, tracking your insurance policies. They'll do that for your current portfolio as well as the one we build for you. This is us really taking our expertise. We want to be your right-hand person for all of your property investing needs, basically. So if you want to keep it separate, you can, by the way. So we're not insisting you do that, but it's all part of the package if you want us to do that. Okay. Aisha's saying, I need help with property tax, HMRC, property let, etc. Aisha, absolutely, that's part of the package. I don't think you've booked an appointment. So you need to book an appointment if you're interested in our products. We don't just give property tax advice. The property tax comes with the packages. So if you're not looking to work with us, it's not something I can help with. But if you are, then you need to book an appointment, and then we can definitely give you help with that. So, okay. So for those of you who have booked a call, really look forward to my team speaking to you, and then me going on to speak to you after that. We're going to really deliver you some mind-blowing results. And I've got personal skin in the game, because if I don't deliver in the next 4 months, then we don't get that case study that I'm after, and then I need to got involved myself. So really looking forward to working with you. Thank you for your time. Those of you that have asked for follow-up with mortgage help or portfolio builder, cash flow builder, or the education, I have been told that we've set that poll up by accident, so you can only click one of those answers instead of clicking them all. So if you want to type in the chat box, if you were wanting more than one, so if you're wanting education but also mortgage help, just type in the chat box the other things that you were after. So apologies, that's our fault, but type in anything else that you were after, and then we'll make sure that we send you the information on those other relevant things as well, if that is of use. In the meantime, thank you for spending your time on the webinar. Really look forward to seeing your investment results. Those of you working with us and not working with us, invest with knowledge, invest with confidence, create financial freedom. I look forward to meeting you soon and working with you and helping you achieve your goals. Thanks very much for your time. I'll speak to you soon.